Well, hey everybody. Hey, this is Michael Tucker from Conversion Store. I popping on here first thing Monday morning just to say hi to everybody and also come back to you really with just some thoughts and some guidance about some things that I've seen here in the last little bit. Just on LinkedIn actually. So I'm scrolling through LinkedIn last week, and I see this post from a an account exec at Adobe that's resharing basically a solutions consultant's video, and not trying to kind of throw shade here, but really more of a public service announcement. So, one of the things that was suggested in this post is that if you're a startup business, that you should use Marketo in order to be able to launch your go-to-market strategy. That all sounds really great on the surface of things. I have to tell you, having been a Marketo champion and kind of working on implementations over the years for companies that are not in the large scale enterprise space, using Marketo for your startup is really not a good idea. And there are better tools in order to be able to use that. In much the same way that I wouldn't recommend that an enterprise, a Fortune 500 company would use an SMB tool. I think that it's even worse if an SMB tool is using an enterprise level marketing automation platform. And so I've written this blog post that you'll see here on our website to just highlight a couple of reasons why that is. And really what I'm trying to do here is just show you just some of the different rationale for why that's not a good fit. And mostly it's because at a startup business, you have a finite amount of time, money, and personnel, energy to be able to work with. And so we'll actually go into some of the different features that you see that Marketo offers for enterprises and why it's a great platform for enterprise level marketing automation, but maybe not the tool that you want to be signing a long term contract for when you're just getting started out. And so hear me out, right? I'm not, you can use it for that, but I would recommend, and what we've broken into this article here is a couple of steps if you're a startup that you should consider doing before you sign your Marketo agreement. And to me, I'll let you in on a little bit of a secret. While we've been consulting in Marketo for, I think it's going on 8 years now, actually in November it'll be 8 years. I have never used Marketo for my business because Conversion Store is a small business. And I know what our resources are, and more importantly, what our resources aren't capable of being able to do. And we wouldn't have the people, or we wouldn't have the resources to be able to spend on a platform that would warrant something like Marketo. So we actually use Active Campaign, and that gives you quite a bit of feature sets. I know there are a lot of people that are moving to HubSpot these days, and that's a pretty good platform too. But one of the things that I liked about Active Campaign is that it gives you all of the feature sets, or I say the majority of the feature sets that exist in the other platforms at a fraction of the price. And so, if you're a startup level business, use those resources to be able to flesh out your product. You remember when we were in business school and you learned about the 4 Ps of marketing mixes: product, place, price, promotion? Well, marketing automation is really great for the promotional side of things, right? It's really great for helping to be able to build out leads and qualify leads. Marketing automation will not build your product for you. Marketing automation will not help you set the place. It can kind of help you understand the price point and understand a little bit about the demand for that people are and aren't responding to by, using data-driven metrics to see what people are responding to and aren't responding to. But really, I would argue that that data is actually coming back from the interaction with your sales department in your CRM. And so it's worth your time. It's worth your while, Mr. or Mrs. Startup executive, to be able to hold the phone for a minute. Don't sign a long-term contract for big dollars with a enterprise level marketing automation platform. If you can flesh out and use a platform that's built more for a mid-market or an SMB platform like an Active Campaign, and use that to be able to understand your product market fit. Where are your customers engaging? What sort of tactics are most relevant for your customer base? How do they go through that decision making process? What are some pitfalls that they might fall into when they're going through that decision making process that you want to avoid? What are the feature sets or the value added benefits that they absolutely adore that you will win with this particular segment of your audience or that particular segment audience? Is it tied to a specific vertical? Is it tied to a specific geography? Is it tied to maybe a certain time of year? Right? Those are all really important questions to be able to flesh out and understand when you're a startup business at any level and at any price point. And so those are the kind of things that are a lot harder to be able to understand when you're locked into like an enterprise level contract. We often say that Marketo is the Ferrari of marketing automation platforms. Can't tell you how many times I have used that and have seen other solutions consultants use that over the years. And that's all well and good if you need a Ferrari and you're running a race. If you're just going to drive down the street to go pick up groceries and or maybe go to the hardware store to go buy a hammer, you could use a Ferrari to do that for sure. But I think when you go and take a look at your fuel bill at the end of the month, you'll be pretty upset when you see how much money you've spent on by doing that. And also how much less you need to do that. You don't need to go 165 miles an hour like you could in a Ferrari in order to be able to pick up your groceries. You just need a daily driver. And so I think it's important to understand to be pragmatic that hey, sometimes the advice that you're seeing on LinkedIn is advice that's coming in because they're people that are part of advocacy groups that the big software firms are kind of deploying. They're incentivized in order to be able to kind of pitch the products and services that you need. If you want an honest opinion about what's best for your MarTech stack for your business in the marketplace that you provide, why don't you give me a ping, and we can talk a little bit about what is, and more importantly, what isn't a fit for you and your business. We're going to do a webinar in the next couple of weeks as well, and I'll include that in the notes on some of these posts here. But you can always find them on our website at conversionstore.com, and we'll provide more information that'll allow you to be able to see, in there about some of the options that you have as a company that's not in the Fortune 500, that is not capable of deploying all of the different tools that you need to own in order to be able to deploy, let's say, an Adobe Experience Cloud, for example. And what is a right fit for your business? So maybe you're earning $1 million, maybe you're earning $15 million in your business, but you're not a Walt Disney and you're not making $2 billion. So join us there, and we'll be happy to be able to talk a little bit about some realistic expectations for building out your marketing platforms to be able to give you success. Thank you.